Hi everyone, my name is René Bernard from Reproducibility Teach, and today we will explore why having a meaningful ORCID profile is essential for researchers. I'll walk you through the challenges, the benefits, and how the ORCID can help streamline your academic journey. Researchers often face a number of challenges when it comes to attribution and recognition. These include issues like name changes, inconsistencies in initials or middle names, or common names shared with many others. If you aren't recognized for your research output, it can negatively affect your career. And this is a problem that needs to be addressed, but researchers aren't alone in this. Editors often struggle to verify authors and reviewers, especially when names are common or when affiliations change. This creates issues in maintaining the integrity of the peer review process. By ensuring the correct attribution of authors and reviewers, the publication process becomes more efficient and accurate for everyone involved. Institutions too face difficulties in accurately attributing and tracking scholarly work, especially when multiple authors share similar names. This is particularly important when evaluating hiring, promotions, or tenure. ORCID helps institutions by improving data integrity and streamlining administrative processes. But what actually is an ORCID? And how does it differ from other identifiers like Researcher ID or Scopus Author ID? ORCID is short for Open Researcher Contributor ID, a 16-digit code that remains with you your entire career, regardless of changes in name or affiliation. ORCID was designed more than 12 years ago and is still maintained by an open non-profit system and therefore independent of any commercial entity and their specific IDs. ORCID has today more than 14 million researcher accounts and is widely adopted across the globe and accepted by all major journals, databases, institutions, and funders. Other IDs or platforms which are almost exclusively commercial are restricted to their own database, while ORCID is a universal identifier. ORCID is like a science passport that always stays with you, whether you have a common name, change your name, change your affiliation, or switch research fields. For setup, you should always use a permanent email address to ensure that your account remains manageable in case you switch institutions. Using an ORCID means greater visibility for your outputs and all your achievements. The green ID icon after your name serves as your link to your profile. Now, let's explore a real-life example of the challenges caused by ambiguous author names. There is an actual paper in which Dr. Wang is a co-author among many other co-authors, all named Wang as well. This is an extreme case, but it illustrates the basic problem of authorship attribution. Can you prove that you are really an author of a publication with a common name? Well, if you look up this paper not in PubMed but in other research engines like, for instance, PubMed Central Europe, you can see ORCID links and can then verify authorship. And consider that 66% of authors share the same last name and initial with others. This creates confusion and makes it harder to track which publications belong to whom. In fact, an ambiguous name in a database may refer to an average of 8 different people. Imagine how many authors you might share your name with. Even if your name and first name combinations is unique today, it might not be so in the future. But with an ORCID, you claim your name and the associated contributions. So with an ORCID, you have control over which organizations and individuals can also access your record. Trusted parties, just like funders, institutions, databases, or peer review platforms, can request specific permissions to read, update, or add information to your ORCID profile. And this keeps your data updated across different platforms. With that, ORCID provides one sign-in to remember for many services and products. And with that, trust these services automatically update your works section in your ORCID profile when a paper, protocol, preprint, or data set is then published. But what I really like about ORCID is that researchers have full control over their own ORCID entries. And you can manage, update, and share your ORCID record at any time. So you see these visibility settings. So you can decide whether everyone, trusted party, or only you can see this record. And you can change it back also anytime. So, and it always also adds a source to each entry, showing whether it is an imported record from a certain source or whether it's manually entered by yourself. One of the great misconceptions about setting up an ORCID profile is that this alone warrants the future automatic import of new publications. But this is wrong, simply because there are so many databases to choose from, and ORCID gives you the control over this. So you have to set this up in the following way. So first, you log into your ORCID account, and in the Works section, you will see a button that says Add Works. And if you click on it, another field pops up, and there you can click on the search and link. From there, you select a database of your choice. I would recommend choosing Crossref or DataCite or Scopus, but there are also other databases to choose from. Then you grant permission from these databases that you choose to read your profile and to add works. And you make them, as I just explained before, a trusted party. Then you most likely need to enter your name, and then it gives you a list of publications that the database associates with your name, and you really list the ones that belong to you and confirm with yes. And from now on, all future publications are automatically tracked by this database and added to your profile, usually as soon as the publication comes out. You will also always receive an email when your ORCID record is updated. And if this was too fast for you, there's also a great video on Vimeo that explains each step that I just explained very transparently. So now that you have activated automatic import for future works, it is time to fill in more relevant bibliographic information. ORCID is the only academic profile that permits links outside the system, so you can add your science blog or your website. And you can also incorporate other social media profiles, for instance, add relevant keywords, grants you received and/or awards, invited positions, but also preprints, any data deposits, or published protocols. And if you ever wonder what your profile will look like to the outside world, you can easily find this out with one click. And from there, you can also quickly generate a CV document to share or print. And the QR code function is also great for adding your ORCID profile to scientific posters. And as I said before, you can enhance your ORCID profile by adding websites or social media links, making it more accessible and connected to your network. And with all that information, ORCID is not just a research identifier, but also serves as your digital CV that is always up to date and easily shareable. Use it to showcase your accomplishments and build your professional network. Additionally, when using your ORCID as part of your email signature, you can actually hand out a link to your CV to your next potential employer or collaborator every time you send out an email. But before we close, just one more important issue, and that is to ensure that your ORCID is actually assigned to your publication. Because the ORCID is not added automatically by a publisher or editorial office. It cannot be added after your paper is published. So you should make sure to ask the person submitting the manuscript to add your ORCID. Because most of the time ORCID entries for co-authors are usually optional. But for me, the best way to ensure that your ORCID really makes it on the paper is to add the ORCID to the manuscript's front page right behind your name. First of all, it is really noticeable for the person submitting. Second, it could serve also a reminder for other co-authors to include their ORCID. And usually the publisher also picks this up and includes the linked ORCID icon then in the publication. Usually your last chance is when you receive the proofs. Check whether the ORCID is there, and if not, request it to be added. So, hope you enjoyed this presentation and will now get an ORCID or updated your existing profile. Good luck and bye for now.